Alright, hey guys, Paxter, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, this is going to be a Sylveon EX/Espeon deck showcase. We have Sylveon right here, personally my favorite evolution, and look at that art. That art looks amazing. The illustrator for this art, he did an amazing job. Just, yeah, look at this art. It looks pretty nice, and yeah, this is the deck right here. And this is the deck right here. Of course, we're going to be running 4 EVs. We have the 2 EX EVs, and of course the 2 non-EX EVs as well. But yeah, if this is your first video on my channel, I highly consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss out on Pokemon Pocket content. I'm really liking the game, and as a small-time content creator, it really does help me out tremendously. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the deck showcase. Alright, here we are in our first battle. This is a solo battle going against Buzzwold EX. Again, if you guys are new to my channel, how these deck showcases usually go, I'm going to do at least 3 battles. First one's a solo battle just to get the feel for the deck, and then the next 2 are in PvP. We are going second. This is pretty good. This is the new Eevee card here. Really liking the art. In my opinion, they really did cook with the full arts in this pack. But yeah, Eevee right here, collect. Doesn't really do any damage, but you do get a free card draw. So that's pretty nice. Alright, going second is pretty good. So we do have 2 Pokeballs, which means that we're pretty much guaranteed all the basics that we need. Okay, perfect. Kind of scary because the only downside with Eevees, like the main reason you're running Eevee EX is if you're running 4 evolutions. That's only a real reason because, yeah, aside from that, this Eevee right here is 10 times better. Like, you draw cards, it's a non-EX. Granted, it's a little less frail, but yeah, as a basic, it's kind of expected. And hopefully we can get an evolution. All we need now is pretty much evolutions. We also have Eevee bag right here. Yeah, skinned. This is a skinned Eevee. This is an Eevee like post-mortem and stuff. That's pretty much what an Eevee bag is. All he does is feed Kartana. Interesting, but we do get Sylveon. Sylveon is amazing because the ability Happy Ribbon, look at this. As soon as I play him, I basically get, it's basically a, oh, you have the choice right here, yeah. So you press yes, and it's essentially a free Professor's Research. So that's pretty nice. Perfect. And then now all we could really do here is just attack. This is pretty good. And we do have Eevee bags. And just to further explain this item right here, you have 2 options. You can either take the offensive route or the defensive route. So the first option right here, evolutions do plus 10 damage. Second option is that evolutions heal 20. And this is pretty good given that it's an item, so you can stack it. So theoretically this turn, I can do plus 20 damage because of Eevee bag, as well as heal 40 damage. So that's pretty nice. For now, I'm just going to Cyrus. I'm going to save them for later. But we pretty much won. I mean, this is against a bot, but again, just to get the feel for the deck, this is ideally how you want to play it. However, ideally, you do want to have Espeon out first. I think the ideal scenario is to have 2 Espeon, so kind of like a 1-1-2 route. So Espeon attacks, Espeon dies, the other Espeon comes out, dies, and then eventually you just sweep it Sylveon. Or you can just play it like this, just have Sylveon in the early/mid game, then pull out Espeon towards the late game. Hopefully I can get him, please. Okay, this should be a... there's a high chance if I do this, I'm going to get an Espeon. Alternatively, I could also use Sylveon's, just like evolve him to get a free Professor's Research, but look at that. Nice. So this is Espeon right here. If you guys don't know its ability, Energy Crush. This attack does 20 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So I feel like this card is very situational. It really depends on your opponent's deck. Right now, he's doing 60. So just keep that in mind. That's why, in my opinion, this card is debatably better towards the late game, especially if your opponent has a ton of energy. I feel like, yeah, you can just pretty much cook with this. But at this point, we might as well just use Eevee bag. First time using this. So you get 2 options, effect 1 or 2. We want to do effect 1, just doing extra damage. We basically won, but just to flex, just to kind of show this off, getting a little feel for the deck yet again. And look at this. If we do this, let's see, we should be doing 80 damage. Yeah, look at that. So Espeon has, in my opinion, Espeon is very similar to Oricorio, like the Psychic Oricorio. I'm just gonna pull up the card right here. This is the Psychic Oricorio. As you can see from its attack ability, yeah, very similar to this guy. But in my opinion, this Espeon is a lot more versatile in all stages of the game. Early game, mid game, and late game. And yeah, let's see how this deck performs in PvP. Alright, here we are in PvP battle, going first. Ideally for this deck, you do want to go second just to maximize the energy. Okay, interesting. So it seems like he's using a very similar deck to mine. This is pretty good because we can get all the EVs that we need out just turn 1. Perfect. Okay, this is looking pretty good. But again, he is going second, so he does have the energy advantage. I'm just going to Rocky Helmet this Eevee right here and just end my turn. And then next turn, we can just play with this Espeon. Alright, not bad. He just placed down Litten. Use Eevee's ability right here. Right now, just evolve into Sylveon. I really like this. That +2 draw is really nice. Look at that. Okay, we got Eevee bag. Evolve into Espeon and just play from Espeon right here. So we're just gonna do for now, Espeon's only doing 20 damage, but keep in mind, keep in mind, as the turns progress, he's gonna get more and more powerful. I don't think he's able to one-shot me next turn. So we can get some decent damage, and not to mention we do have EV Bag. That extra plus 10 damage could help us out in the long run. Is he gonna attack? If he attacks, this is like a beginner's mistake right here. Oh, okay. Okay, rare candy. Damn. Okay, yeah, this is where it gets pretty scary. He also left over as well. This is a very bad matchup in my opinion because Incineroar, he did get buffed recently, but even without the buff, his third ability, if he takes damage, which he just did right now, he's gonna one-shot Sylveon. Like, that's gonna be pretty scary. All right, perfect. So we got another Espeon out. Might as well Rocky Helmet. Actually, I'm gonna hold on to Rocky Helmet just in case he does have Guzma. I could Cyrus that EV right here, but again, to maximize this guy's his attack, you don't want your opponent to have as much energy as possible. For now, I am gonna EV Bag because next turn this Espeon is gonna die because of his first ability. So now, I think he can still one-shot me if he howls. But for now, we're just gonna rock this. And yeah, this Energy Crush. Okay, doing some damage onto Incineroar, but keep in mind, I mean, there's a very, very, very high chance he has a Lily in his hand. Okay, he does Howl though. He doesn't Lily, but he does Howl. So he's doing, I think 80 damage, including the burn. Yeah, damn. There's no surviving that. But he did have to use that, so that the EV Bag did help us out a little bit in the long run. All right, so we're just going to play with Espeon right here. This is where we still kind of can lose if he Sabrina's. Oh, shoot, yeah. This is why we do need that Giant Cape. That Giant Cape is kind of detrimental when it comes to Sylveon. But for now, all we can really do is this. Rocky Helmet. Hope he doesn't Sabrina. Doing 60 damage, which is pretty good. Next turn, he's doing 80. But he's probably going to die next turn. So, okay, this is... yeah, this is a very bad matchup. And it kind of shows just this deck overall. Like, it's very fun. But in my opinion, this deck... it isn't that good, like especially compared to all the other meta decks that came out during this booster pack so far. When it comes to Espeon, you can probably make better psychic decks, including Espeon. But for this deck showcase, I wanted to do an Espeon and Sylveon deck showcase because I just wanted to utilize using both the EV-EX and non-EX. Okay, we can still win this. We can definitely still win this. He's getting pretty bad RNG. If he Lily, that would have helped him out tremendously. But he didn't. The main downside is that this Flareon right here can just one-shot us in a couple of turns. All right, I might as well place down this EV because we have a very slim chance to win this. This is pretty rough. I could red card him, but like I feel like that might hinder us in the long run. I don't know what's in his hand. Incineroar is dead. And next turn, he could Sabrina and just win the game. But if he doesn't, there's a chance if I can get another Sylveon out. All right, perfect. We did get another Sylveon out. Okay, this is... gonna be very risky, so keep in mind Flareon EX. I'll definitely make a deck showcase eventually. Oh shoot, 3 more cards. So looking at Flareon EX right here, Combust. Once during your turn, you may attach fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. If you do 20 recoil damage. So this guy gets 20 recoil damage because of that. Fire Spin, discard 2 fire energy. Does 130, but we can still survive. So for now, we might as well just Professor's Research to get the last card out. Yeah, all we could really do, so he has 4 discards, so he can definitely still attack. For now, we're just gonna do this. All right, Giant Cape Sylveon, red card. Yeah, this is all we could really do in this scenario. I could EV Bag, but for now, I'm just gonna chill. I might use this as offensive. Damn, he does Sabrina. There's really no countering that. GG. Yeah, this deck, as much as I like Sylveon, I feel like this deck specifically, again, just to reiterate, you could definitely pair Sylveon with another psychic card, a psychic Pokemon, but I wanted this deck specifically to be Espeon and Sylveon, primarily because that's the ideal pairing for psychic if you want to run 4 EV cards. But yeah, let's see how this guy performs in the next battle. All right, next battle, we are going first yet again. Interesting, this guy's using Bounce Suite. All right, not the worst. We can definitely cook with this. So we do have Espeon, Sylveon. At this point, I'm just going to end my turn. I'll red card next turn, as well as evolve into Espeon and Sylveon. All right, so he does attack with Bounce Suite, Leaf Capes as well. Puts another Bounce Suite in the bench. So for now, first of all, evolve into Sylveon. Let's use this art, why not? This is pretty nice because on top with Professor's Research, you can theoretically get 4 cards in a turn. All right, right now, you might as well do Rocky Helmet and then evolve into Espeon. Espeon's only going to do 20 damage this turn, but keep in mind, as the turns progress, he's going to get more powerful. But the only main downsides, again, is depending on your opponent's deck. If this guy's using the old Serena, then he only really theoretically needs 2 energy. So Espeon might just be doing 40 damage just like the whole game. But we do have EV Bag, so we could do 50. Damn, okay, he evolves into Serena. Really hates this Sylveon. Okay, he is really targeting the Sylveon. Very scary, but at the same time, we should be at a good position, nevertheless. Serena, very interesting card. This card essentially reveals one of my cards and just puts it back in my deck. Okay, yeah, for now, we might as well. This is kind of awkward. Instead of running Pokemon Communication, you can very much run an X-Speed if you get into this scenario right here. But for now, just keep on attacking with Espeon, 40 damage. But again, this might be the max damage that Espeon can do without EV Bag. Because, yeah, theoretically, these two only need 2 energy in total. Okay, interesting. He does place Celebi, though. Okay. Damn, this arena is pretty annoying. Getting rid of that red card. Oh, this is perfect. Look at this. This is nice. So first of all, might as well just Sylveon. Perfect. Honestly, we might be able to get another Espeon out. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Pretty scary having all these Pokemon in the bench. But at the same time, not the worst. Yeah, at this point, we're just gonna keep this Espeon alive. The EV Bag, again, if you use 2 of them, it's pretty much an Arita for evolutions. So yeah, let's do this again. Now he can't kill this Espeon, which is pretty nice. Might as well feed this Sylveon right here. Energy Crush. Damn, he used Erica on Serena. Interesting. And that red card gets discarded yet again. Okay. Very interesting because that does nothing. That really essentially does nothing. How many times can I get this red card? Holy crap. Yeah, because if you look over here, 80 damage. Energy Crush, again, it gets more powerful over time. And yeah, we might as well just attack. Sure, let's do it. Might as well. Espeon is going to die next turn, but we are doing some decent chip damage on to whoever he summons out. Okay, here we go. So you did sub in Celebi. Wow, okay. Kind of overkill. 150 damage. And that's the main drawback for this deck, in my opinion, is that, yes, Sylveon, I feel like most of the evolutions, especially when you want to run like a Psychic deck, they aren't as powerful. Like, sure, you could run LEAFEON, but in my opinion, LEAFEON requires a lot of buildup as well. But this isn't the worst scenario overall. We can still do 80 damage. Look at that. Espeon is amazing. And then next turn, I can just sub in, if this guy dies, just sub in Sylveon or something, and we should be good unless he Ericas yet again. Okay, he evolves into Serena. There's a 50% chance I win next turn. Okay. We do have 3 cards though overall. Damn. Yeah, that Cyrus is our win condition. Pretty rough, but at the same time, he's back. You thought he was gone? No, he's back. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much GG. We might as well just flex on him. Get this Sylveon out. And yeah, I feel like the main issue for this deck, if you want to run a Sylveon and Espeon deck specifically, is the damage output. Espeon takes a bit of time to scale in damage, and Sylveon, 70 damage, nothing really too impressive. And keep in mind, if you go against Solgaleo, Sylveon's gonna get one-shotted if you don't Giant Cape, because Sylveon is at a type disadvantage. Screw it. Red card, that's a flex. Actually, I'm giving him cards. Okay, there we go. Nice. Fairy Wind, GG. Look at that. Yeah, very fun, but I feel like paired together, they aren't really that good. I feel like both cards will be a lot better if they aren't paired together. But if you don't pair them together, then why would you run the EX EV? Like, the EX EV is kind of essentially useless. But yeah, as a Sylveon / Espeon deck showcase. And yeah, looking at this, I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, most of these cards, like Flareon, you want to run in fire specifically. Vaporeon in water, Jolteon lightning, and yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. So when it comes to Psychic, you do want to pair Espeon and Sylveon together. Either that, or pair one of those Pokemon with LEAFEON, because keep in mind, LEAFEON, this card is colorless, so you can run them in anything. But yeah, overall, B to C, like C+ to B tier, in my opinion. Like, it's not that good combined, but I feel like both cards might see better synergy with other Pokemon. And if you do that, there's really no point running EV/EX in your deck. And that's primarily why I wanted to make this deck showcase, again, just to kind of use EV/EX and EV to see how that performs. And overall, yeah, B tier could be a little bit better. Just the damage output isn't really that crazy. Espeon takes a while to get built. And Sylveon, 70 base damage, nothing too crazy, as well as being somewhat frail altogether. The main gimmick for this guy, of course, is the ability right here. Pretty nice when it comes to just pulling the cards that you need. But yeah, overall, a lot of fun. I can't really complain, because look at this art, man. They really did cook with this art. Holy crap, dude. Dina really likes their EVs. They really like evolutions overall. And yeah, that's pretty much the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.